the backs. Okay. Once again, the game is called Gorilla, Man, Gun. Gorilla beats man, man beats gun, gun beats gorilla. Got it? All right. Okay. Ready? Go. But if you have to say it, go again. If you're out, sit down. Gorilla beats man, man beats gun, gun beats gorilla. Okay. Hey, this is an admin's conference. Okay, don't cheat. No cheating. Okay, no cheating. All right. Okay. If you haven't gone, find a new partner. Find a new partner. Find a new partner. Good. All right. Partner up. Partner up. All right. Facing backs. 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 Okay. Ready? Go. Alright, good stuff. Okay, so if you're out, sit down please. Thank you for your service. Find a new person, find a new partner. There's a new. Okay, so who's up? Gorilla beats man, man beats gun, gun beats gorilla. Gorilla beats man beats. Okay, so you're staying? Okay, we'll come. Oh, this is like, we're almost there. Look at this. We've like narrowed it down to these few people. This is great. Okay, partner up. Yeah. Okay, both of you go. Okay, we'll after that you can get into this. All right, ready? Ready? Go. Oh, what's happening here? Gorilla beats man, man beats gun, gun beats gorilla.
That's gorilla. Oh no, you were man, gorilla.
Gorilla beats man, that's man, this is gorilla. Yeah. Okay. Gorilla beats man, man beats gun, gun beats gorilla. Alright. Ready? Okay. Back. Let's go. Oh, this is like semi-finals. This is amazing. Ready? Yes. Ready? Oh, I see. There's fandoms being born right now as we speak. I like this. Okay. Ready? Go. Oh. Wait, say it. What happened here? You guys are good, same thing, right? Okay. Still, what is this? Man. Yeah, gorilla beats man, man beats gun. Okay. Go. Oh. Same. All right, again. Let's go again. Let's go again. We'll find out. All right. Ready? Go. What is going on? Hey, some people are cheating here. They're like, one of them is like, oh. No. Do it. Okay. We'll do something different. Pick your sign right now. No. Why are you looking at me? Pick a sign right now. Yeah, pick a sign. Okay. Go. Oh. Okay. All right. Thank you. Championship round. Okay. Face your backs. That's good. Okay. Pick your sign. Get ready. Okay. Go. Oh! Very good. Okay, so the last three finalists, you guys get Tim Tams. Chewy caramel made with irresistible real chocolate.
Great!
Your own remix to it and then put it out into the world, get some immediate feedback. That's how I learned. And so one day I decided to document my chai making process. I've been making chai from the time I was 12, 13 years old. Right? When I came to the States, I went back into making more chai because chai was a way of me connecting to my roots. My dad, I used to remember, my earliest memories of my father was making chai in the morning and would bring the cup to us, steaming hot liquid. By the way, we're not talking about the chai tea latte. I know some of you are going to Starbucks. I saw you. Not the chai tea latte. Talking about chai. One syllable. Chai. You see, chai tea latte, the chai, you know what that tastes like? It tastes like hope. It tastes like hope. It tastes like, wow, promise. Prosperity. It tastes like regret. Also, it also has notes of what it could taste like. This is what it tastes like. It tastes like you going back to a relationship that you know is doomed, but you keep going back to it because that's your toxic trait. Like, that's what the chai tea latte tastes like, right? Also, by the way, if you say the words chai tea latte, the word chai literally means tea. So when you say chai tea, you're saying TT, right? When you say chai tea latte, you know what happens? Somewhere in the world, a brown grandma sheds a silent tear. That's what happens. Don't do it, right?
Are you making chai for us?
Bruh. Bruh. Maybe. No, not today. But sometime. Yeah. I was actually making chai for this youth rally in Australia a couple of days ago for like 200 people. It was crazy. But if you're following me on TikTok, I thought this was a powder. I thought this was this and that. And then what started off as kind of this like passion project eventually became so much more. I mean, this is a screenshot that I took yesterday of like all the different things that I have right now. It's just crazy. This whole journey has been just ridiculous. Right now, we have a community of like almost 500,000 people across different platforms of people who are interested in chai, homemade chai, but also want to use it as a meaningful practice in their lives. And the more I made chai content, the more I made the recipes, I realized, you know what? There's more to my life than chai, so how can I use chai as a canvas for storytelling? And I started to share more stories about the South Asian experience. I started to share stories about what it means to be Adventist, what it means to be a person of color in America, the immigrant experience. We're stinky people.
Mercy.
Who never probably step into a local church, or people who have been burnt by established or institutionalized religion or weaponized religion. And I know that because there are people in the comments always like, yo, this guy's a pastor? I don't want anything to do with the pastor. And I kept those things in my bio for a long time. I kept pastor, chaplain, chai. Someone called me that at Andrews, so I was like, okay, I like that. I just kept it, you know? So I've always kind of made it very intentional, like this is who I am. And over time, there was this. We had this community of so many different people, and people start asking me questions about, hey, how do you do what you do? And so I had to kind of force myself to systematize and put some language behind some of these things that have been working for me. And so today I just want to spend some time. All that stuff. That's the work of God. You are supposed to be a minister of reconciliation. That's Pauline language, right? That's your job. You're supposed to be a good connector of people, right? Conversion, that's up to God and them. You be the good ambassador. You know better. I know better. And when you answer the questions that they are already asking, you can eventually earn the trust to answer the question that they're not asking. When you keep, if you're doing a TikTok social media thing on underwater basket weaving, that's your thing. You're into it. And someone's going to come with a question. It's like, I don't know if this type of fabric is going to work for this type of craft. Answer that question. Go crazy on that question. And don't use your answers as a way to get them to Jesus. That's between them and Jesus, man. You be diligent with what you're trying to be diligent with. And if the opportunity comes, sure, have a conversation. And because here's the thing. Prioritize connection over conversion. Because here's the thing. If they cannot connect with your humanity, they may never connect with your theology. If they cannot connect with who you are, if they can't connect with your story, your ups, your downs, your vibe. How do you expect them to connect with your theology?
Yeah.
We expect people, my mother, if you know anything about Hinduism, it's just elaborate, a beautiful worldview with so many colors, so much. They have 330 million gods that they worship. And Hinduism comes from a really strong tradition. I mean, so for the longest time, I was the only Adventist in my family. My mom actually became an Adventist when she was 12 years old. And she was the only Adventist growing up in the Hindu household. And all my relatives were Hindu and nominal Catholic for a long time. And never during my years in Sri Lanka growing up did my parents say, hey, say this so that they will get to know Jesus. Because they understand that that's a big ask. You got to honor people's worldviews. And again, this is not to say that, we have our differences. But you have to have empathy and have to have compassion. And so the strategy for us growing up was like, man, they really instilled us, if you're Christians, God is going to grow these fruits in our lives. And that's going to be amazing so that you can be channels of love to other people. And full stop. And not so that now you can be good, and then now you can ask your grandmother or your uncle to be Christians. Now, so many years later, almost all my family are Adventists. And we barely asked anybody to become Adventists. They saw my parents. They saw my mom. They saw my dad. If they cannot connect with humanity, they will probably never connect. Or they wouldn't want to. They wouldn't want to connect with their theology. Yeah? And the last thing. We have to prioritize conversations over Christianese. We have to prioritize conversations over Christianese. What's Christianese? Oh, you'll hear it. Adventist, happy Sabbath. Hey, have you had Haystack? By the way, when I first came to the States, I went to Andrews University, right? They said, yes. And one of my friends was like, yo, Haystacks, bro. You're gonna have some. I'm like, I come from Sri Lanka. I was like, I had better food there. Why am I having horse food here? My cat is getting better food. I didn't pay $30,000 to eat hay. People don't know what you're talking about half the time, And so, we cannot, if you're in the online space, when you're doing those things, you cannot afford to be Christianese. You speak in Christianese, or speak the dialect of Adventese. No, you have to, it's been helpful for me to be open to different perspectives and have conversations with different groups of people. Are you building bridges or are you building bunkers? Is the main kind of thing that I want to be at this point. Are you doing your content creation? Is your social media strategy towards building bridges between people? Or are you doing this so that you can add more scaffolding to your bunker, your ideological bunker, so that you can be safe? Put it another way, are we playing the long game of building bridges of trust between us and them? Or are we playing the short game of building bunkers to protect us from them?
Mercy.
Is this landing? Are we playing the short game of building bunkers to protect us from them? And if you go to cringe Christian TikTok, these guys are building bunkers left, right, and center, bro. It's like us. We're against the leftists, or we're against the rights, so we're against this and that. They won't say it, but it's there. You can read between the lines. Right? And I also say this to some of my people. I said, if you're just talking about Jesus, you're not talking about Jesus enough. You have to speak with your life. You got to bring your story. You're not talking about Jesus enough. If you're just doing Bible studies, if you're just doing theology, if you're just doing Sabbath school lessons, that's baseline. That's baseline. What's harder is to see how those things have impacted your life, and then through the lens of your life, how you bring it up to the front. That's harder. It's going to take you work. It's going to take reflection. You can't just pick up an Amazing Facts Bible study and just do that and put it out in the world. And yeah, you're going to get your stuff. You're going to get your views and your likes and all that stuff. This is not to trash anything. But we're talking, again, the audience, we're talking about doing this in a secular world. We're not talking about doing this in a Christian world. We moved way past that. Way past that. The fastest way to irrelevance and eventual obsolescence is to zealously answer questions that nobody's asking. To zealously answer questions nobody's asking. So we have to prioritize conversations. How do you do that practically? This is what I do. Try to package principles and truths as stories. Yeah, the request. Right. So I was like, oh, I'll play. Bye. Accept. Yes, I am. All caps. I am shocked. Period. It's like, okay. Well, most days I am too.
Amen.
Help us, Lord. So I said, okay, yeah, I am. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist pastor. Yeah, how'd you hear about me? And why are you shocked? And she said, it's because of where I heard about you from. And now I'm really intrigued. And she said, okay, listen to this. I heard about you from this podcast episode. But since you're an Adventist pastor, you may not want to listen to the whole episode. I'm going to listen to the whole episode. Now after you say that, right? So she sent me this Spotify link. And she said, if you don't want to listen to the whole episode, just go fast forward to this timestamp and then start listening. And then she also said, I'm a former Adventist. So I know for a fact that you will not want to listen to this. Very intrigued at this point. Very intrigued. Click on the link, Spotify opens up, and I instantly knew why. This was a podcast episode on witchcraft. It was done, there was two hosts, Corey and Detta, and they're running this podcast. They've been running this for a few years now, so many different episodes. And each episode was a deep dive into a practice of witchcraft. It was like 50 minutes long per episode. And I listened to the episode a few minutes. I was just like, oh wow, okay, wow. Fast forward, right? And it was fascinating stuff though. It was fascinating. I mean, these were like woke witches, right? Like you think, pointed hats, that will boil in trouble and all that. No. These are like super woke. They're into like climate change and like the nature and all these different things. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I didn't know that you guys had denominations. Like this is fascinating to me, right? So I fast forward to this timestamp, and this is what I hear. And I hope this works. I hope this works. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. Oh yeah.
Spark I have is a person that I actually found on TikTok, and he got very, very famous, and he blew up everywhere, and he's amazing, and you should probably follow him on Instagram. His name is Kevin Wilson, and he is under the handle Cross Culture Christian, but he got famous on TikTok for making chai.
Ooh.
And you mentioned chai, and he uses chai
he's my
as an
pastor.
allegory for all the things, for love, for forgiveness, for growth, for patience. He does the most amazing work taking this incredible drink that he makes a ritual out of, because you should. Chai invites you to make it a ritual. That's part of what makes it so delicious. And I think that he's incredible, and he's just like a really kind, amazing soul that you should probably just know. Anyway, Kevin Wilson, Cross Culture Christian, I love you. Your work is amazing. You're doing great.
Whoa. That's my pastor right there. That's his.
That's a witch. So I sent them a DM.
Amazing.
Hey, can we chat? Get a reply. All caps. OMG. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I was like, hey, thank you so much for those kind words in your podcast. I was wondering if we can have a conversation about what you talked about. And then Corey was like, oh my gosh, yeah. Scheduled a conversation, Zoom, screen in front of me, Corey, Dada, myself. And I just said, hey, so I just want to know why you would endorse somebody who has a different lifestyle than you have, with a whole different beliefs that you have. I just wanna get that from you. And then they looked at each other, they were like, hey, do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Okay, let's go. I can't share you all the details, but basically, they grew up in the church.
Oh, wow.
Not Adventist, they grew up Christian. Did the Sunday school thing. They were youth leaders at their church. They did summer camp.
Wow.
They went to Christian colleges. Came back to their church to serve. Some things happened. Got questioned by church leadership. They tried to fight it. They tried to have a conversation. Just constant shaming, constant weaponized theology and religion from that end. So this is left. And they found meaning in the practice of witchcraft. Because it was, for them, it was a way of them connecting to the earth. It was a way of them to connect with their souls, their bodies, and all that stuff. But then the conversation shifted. They talked about Jesus. The way they talked about Jesus, up until that point, I haven't heard anybody talk like that about Jesus. Because they talked about Jesus as this embodiment of everything that they hope that humanity would look like. The embodiment of love, the embodiment of peace. And they've been on and on about Jesus, a Jesus that was distinct or unshackled, I would say, from institutionalized religion. And they talked about Jesus, and we had a conversation about Jesus with two witches. And we ended the conversation, and we went our separate ways. But we're still friends. We are friends, and that's just one story. I can tell you way more of the different conversations that we've had. I don't think Leo, my cat, realized that he smelled. More often than not, we don't realize how we smell to other people.
Mercy.
In person or online. And that's why Paul ends that letter to the Corinthian church says, you are supposed to be the aroma of Christ. So when you are in groups, when you're in the comment section, when you're on your groups, when you're on the pages, when you're on the posts, what do they smell? Do they smell the stink of weaponized religion? Do they smell the stink of otherizing rhetoric? Or do they smell Jesus Christ? So, that's, I think, one way as we moving forward.
Spark I have.
We have to prioritize quality over